So you see the chuck crane came back online. And what happened is that instead of it being packed up to move off site, they actually fitted it with a different harness, a different pulley system. So Old Choco is still a major player. But in between time, while it was being fitted with that harness, the tower crane was in full action.
Dog and recently departed. Oh. So I had the dog as a child for years.
So the chuck crane is going back up. And that 40 plus tons is still sitting in the driveway. And the 71,000 is still sitting on the street. Still sitting there, and the chuck crane is extending. think that 40 ton is about to be hoisted up by the chuck crane. Because realistically thinking, right, they're building 2 tower crane, and as that driveway sits, the driveway is actually the second tower crane that is to be built. That would be that crane's territory. Because like I said, where that #1 tower crane was tested this morning is its territory. That's where it's slated to operate from. Yeah, so I believe until that crane is built, the more realistic scenario is that the chuck crane is going to do major lifting from here. Yeah, because you see the truck that piece came off that I'm assuming is about 15 or 20 tons, had to pull into that driveway. So, yeah. So the harness, which is a 4-point harness that was changed on the chuck crane, was changed to lift that 40 tons. But we'll see. Instead of assuming, we'll just wait and see. Because it's actually reaching in the area where the tower crane is supporting a beam right now. It's still open who's gonna move that 40 tons. And realistically, unless that truck pulls into the other driveway, I don't see Tower 1 lifting it. As we speak, we got the tower crane is swinging into position. I repeat, is swinging into position for the lifting of that 40 tons. Appeared to be a pack up by the chuck crane was actually a change of a specialized or specialized cable, in the sense that it's capable of handling more weight, more cables, because it started this morning with two cables, and now that's 4 cables. So inside that tubular hydraulic system, the tower crane, the chuck crane, seems to have a mound of secrets in how many cables it's able to deploy according to the weight it's lifting. Because make no mistake about it, these pieces are the heaviest weight that is being placed on this construction site in one whop, in one piece. These are the heaviest, and there goes the 40-ton up and going away, being moved by the master chuck. That's 40.4 tons, and we got 71 tons sitting on the bed of the trailer in back of me right now. That's 40 tons. 40.4 tons. Being chucked into storage. Yep, 40.4 tons. 40 and a half. 40,400 pounds. long as it is, and it's about 1.5 times as long as that piece, is actually half the weight of that. Because if that's 71,000 pounds, which would be 71 tons, right? I know the British system is like 2 tons, 2,000 to a ton in Britain. And in the American system, it's 1,000 to a ton, right? So if that's 71,000 pounds, and that is 4.4 tons, that would make that 40,400 pounds, which would make that half, the weight of that. Even though it's almost twice as long as that. So I'm wondering, is that piece solid? Oh, wow. It must be. And as we speak, the tower crane is sitting right next to it. So it'd be interesting to see if that's just a first phase move. That would be really interesting. The harness is off and it's up and away. These boys, I believe the steam pipes are, I can only say that they must be worn out and leaking, because you got geysers set up, but the geysers have gotten fewer, because the geysers used to stretch all the way up the hill to here. So this is the last 3 geysers that's left of what used to be about 8 or 9. So you got the guzzler sucking in while those guys are making their repair, and it can only be sucking in the steam, because boy, that sucker's got to be hot. But whoa, see, gotta pay attention. As I'm talking, the 71,000 pound is about to be moved into the yard. So they got that piece out of the way. And the last piece of this morning, second day of operation for the tower crane, is now moving into the yard. The 71,000 pounder is about to be moved into the yard. We have the flagman in the middle of the street. Traffic is down. And that baby is going in. 71,000 pounds. £71,000 is in. And the 44,000 pound is still sitting there, so that's where it's gonna be stowed. Now if that's gonna be stowed there, let's see, and make no mistake, the chuck crane is moving into position as that 71,000 pound is backed into the driveway. The chuck crane is moving right over it. So as they move that green Teflon or whatever that massive, it's certainly not a chain, it's some kind of fabric. So
I guess it's just kind of
got the dog walkers out. Yeah, so immediately after that truck backed in, its 71,000 pound weight is being strapped up. Onto the chuck crane. It's interesting because we still got inspectors sitting over there. We got a slew of white hats, white helmets over there where we see that test went on this morning with the tower crane. So let's see if anything else goes on or if they're just keeping an eye on that, which is the construction site, period. So let's see what they do with this 71,000 pound baby. That's the 71 being strapped in. What you gonna And assuming that when it's lifted, it's gonna go in this direction, possibly in that one. Let me see something. If I can see where they stowed that piece. No, because the tub is still sitting right there. Parts of the oh yeah, we can. I can just see it. Yeah, the tub is sitting here, and the leg for and the winch for tower 2 is still sitting in the driveway. But that's the 40 right there, the 44. And it's crazy because we got T1 hovering over that 44. But let me go back this way so I can see what's going on with 71,000 pounds of. It's still coming out of Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. Whoa. You know, I saw them tearing down. They were tearing down. Well, not tearing down, but they ripped the facade off of a building in the garment district about 6 months ago. And written right across the front end of that facade was Bethlehem Steel. So I'm wondering, Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, major mover and groover shaker in the steel industry, if it's still shipping out steel to major construction site. So we're back over here as those boys put that green harness, that green strap around that 71,000 pound. And I'm wondering if I'm wrong about that 1,000 to a ton or 2,000 to a ton, which would make that 88,000 pound if it was to be so. But I don't think so. I think it's 44. Yeah, 44,000 pounds. For that piece. I don't know if my a lot of it. What are they doing?
Yeah. No, I know they're doing construction, but is that going to be like extension of Grand Central?
It's going to be some support to Grand Central, but I think it's going to be more of like a convention center, hotel type thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And even I think it's going to be shopping also. So it's going to be a multi-purpose. And that's a good question that she asked this morning, because in me running my mouth, sorry folks, I neglect to even mention the purpose of this building. And from what I read and what I recollect offhand, and I'll do my research and make more comment as to that, it is supposed to be shopping, convention, and possibly hotel space. Yeah. You know where you can get those
Yeah.
99 a night rooms. Yeah, right. And the truck crane, the tower crane is moving into position over that way. And I see movements by those inspectors over there. So it would be great to see the tower crane being utilized, being tested with these 3 pieces of weight. And we definitely know that if it picks this one up, which is moving over right as I speak, and I'm going to move into that position that is much better in a minute, but I don't want to move. You know what? Let me move, because from over there I can see it's a long shot, longer shot, but we're not getting too intricate anyway, so we're not being allowed to really get a close-up. We got a close-up of those beams as they were on the street, and you'll get that, and you should have gotten that by the time you're listening to this. Let's move over this way. And this is a part of the brand new drainage system around this building that they put in. And I'm not 100% sure, but I think they just strapped T1 into that 44,000. £44,000 weight. Maybe not. Maybe it's just being they're just changing its harness. Nope. These are gonna be strapped onto that 44,000, folks. Yep, them boys are waiting. The testing continue. I don't think it's gonna run a test coming this way. So that first move by the chuck crane to that area is to move it so that the weight, that first move by the chuck crane was so that the weight, which is 44,000 pounds, 4.4 tons, is closer to the operational area of T1, Tower Crane 1. So that's about to be hoisted up.